I've been dabbling with the idea of reducing the extra load on the weighted pull-ups because I can't help but noticing that the progression is painfully slow and it's been like this for a while now. I've actually gone back to check, and over the last month I have been able to increase my total for this exercise by one meager rep in over a month. So that is a pretty slow rate of progression, even though to be fair, I guess it still did go up. After observing that, I started to consider a few factors that probably shouldn't be discounted and could help putting things into perspective. Over the last month or so, I moved to a new place and I'm now using two different gyms. I also was traveling for a short period, then Christmas and New Year's passed. I felt unwell for a few days since I don't even remember how long ago. And I changed my training program a bit to try and account for a slightly different environment and demands. So when I look at things this way, I am tempted to carry on for a while longer before starting to think about what I could try and manipulate to get the progression to move more smoothly. And to be perfectly honest, I might be under the wrong impression if I feel that there is a way to achieve progress in a faster way than I would like. Or rather, there probably is, but it most likely would involve tweaking of the intensity slash volume equation, which is what I was considering to do. If it wasn't clear enough, I am uncertain on how to proceed here. On the one hand, I do feel like the weighted pull-ups are probably one of the movements where I am most unforgiving towards myself with regards to the intensity that I am pushing. All working sets are very, very close to failure. I don't even think I ever even leave one rep in the tank, and occasionally I am unable to complete the last attempted one. This is the main aspect that was making me consider adjusting the intensity by scaling down the weight slightly if I was going to stay in the same rep range. Another option would be to keep the same weight, and just stay with one or two reps in reserve on all working sets. This would still allow me to get the 3 to 5 reps with an extra 24 kilos, and that could also be acceptable. I'll see how things go next week. I'm willing to go a bit easier on the exercise because with most others, I am very careful not going too close to failure. Perfect example is the Nordic curls here. Because after giving myself a bit of a tendon inflammation last year, which severely hampered my progress, I should be wiser about these kind of things. Even though sometimes I feel like the bicep femoris tendon, back of the right leg, isn't back to 100%, I am now able to get a few good sets on the Nordic curls with a bit of assistance at the bottom of the rep by the Bosu ball, which takes a bit of the brunt from the reversal into the concentric, while still allowing the full eccentric to be borne by the knee. And in my book, that's a win. Really happy I came up with this setup. I also came to terms with allowing a little hip flexion throughout the motion, which, by the way, does feel much better in the way of a hamstring engagement, as there is a slightly higher degree of lengthening because of that little hip flexion. And I believe that's why I end up feeling it quite a bit more in the belly of the muscle, and the tension at the joint is more evenly distributed. Oh, one last thing about the bicep curls. This time I was aware of the possibility for soreness in the elbows, which I felt the previous week and was most likely a result of this session, which is fairly high in intensity for on the elbow flexion department. So I was a bit extra careful with technique, and since I'm still trying to catch up with these days, I'm happy to report that no elbow was annoyed this time. Ciao.